Hi, I want to talk for a minute about this week's assignment on developing a personal sales approach. Now, we should know right up front, this is not an assignment to write a full-blown marketing strategy, nor is it an ad campaign or a pitch. If that sounds like Greek to you, you might want to go back and look at the book a little bit to find the differences in how those different parts of a marketing plan fit together and coordinate. So, first of all, don't forget your target market. The assignment pretty much says who this product's designed for. We also have to realize who's going to actually buy the product. Children who are 5 to 10 years old don't have a lot of money, and while they certainly could buy some issues or some products, will they be buying this particular product? Probably ought to consider potential price points and whether or not this is a product they'll buy or whether this is a product they will influence. Again, we're not doing an ad campaign, we're talking about a personal sales approach. But if children are buying it, where will they be doing that influence? Where is that influence likely to take place? Who's going to buy it, and where is that person likely to buy it? Those are all issues you need to think about in developing a personal sales approach. So key questions will be which sales channel do you want to use? That has an impact certainly on both who the target market is, or is impacted by who the target market is. It has an impact on how you're going to get the product to market. You may want to use more than one sales channel. If that's the case, that may be a very good idea, but how do you integrate those two channels together so they don't conflict or, more importantly, contradict each other? In fact, if you think about it, many times you have multiple sales channels out there, and sometimes in marketing we do find they contradict. So you want to be sure in your plan you don't set yourself up for failure by using two channels in a contradictory manner. Now, you may or may not personally be in this market right now for this product, and if not, then you need to think like the buyer. And that's the goal of the marketing class, to think like someone who you're not, to understand consumer behavior, marketing theory, how sales and marketing works. So you might think about what type of selling the book discusses here, because there's 3 types discussed, and think about in the target market, which one is going to be most effective. Now, we all think relationship selling is the only way to go, but let's look at the definition in the book. Relationship selling in the book is defined as, if I get the book here in front of me, regular contacts between sales representatives and customers over an extended period to establish sustained buyer-seller relationships. Let's think about that a second. How many times are you actually in a buying situation where you're dealing multiple times with a salesperson over an extended period of time to establish a sustained seller-buyer relationship? I'm not saying that we're not going to use relationship selling in this. I'm saying you may want to think about what that means in a particular target market and the particular sales channel you're going to use and how that might be important for this particular product. What about consultative selling? Well, that sounds like the only approach a lot of people might consider also. And really, to be honest, it's the term of sales today. Most of your business-to-business sales teams, we're in consultative selling. Well, they may well be. But be sure to look closely at that if you feel that is part of your approach, including how a consultative salesperson must understand how a product will be used and what that might mean for the entire purchasing process, which is a pretty big hint about something else in consultative selling, which from my perspective is going to be a key part of selling this particular product. But what about team selling? Will that be part of the process? Well, don't think about team selling like that pesky car dealer who I'm dealing with right now. That's not a good reflection on team selling in most cases. Think of team selling as bringing in together various experts whose expertise is needed by the buyer. In other words, the buyer needs the expertise of many people on the selling team, not the seller. In the car dealer situation, what we often find are experts in finance, experts in pressure, experts in product. That's not necessarily what we're looking for in good team selling. In good team selling, we're looking at expertise needed by the buyer to make the right decision, not the seller to make the sale. So depending upon your channel or channels, you may have team selling because your product does include technology, learning, and motor skills. But again, remember, this is not an assignment about a sales pitch, but a sales approach. But if you think about the channels that you may be using, you may well have team selling as part of your channels. If that's the case, your sales approach is, as always, a function of the channels, so this all ties together. So a few notes of this assignment. Be sure your names are on the slideshow. And remember, this slideshow is being shown to an executive team in your company and not a prospect. Focus on the question. I look forward to seeing them. Thanks.